Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. So for this one, I wanted to keep the holiday themes rolling. I think I'm going to do a dragon for every holiday coming up. So for today, in honor of this Sunday, we are doing an Easter dragon. So this one was a little bit interesting to try to figure out how I wanted to do it, because I knew I wanted to incorporate some of the most common animals with Easter. One of them is obviously the rabbit. Another one is a lamb, and then the final one is kind of like the little baby chick type of thing, like a little baby bird. And I wanted to incorporate those three together. So this one kind of, I think, is a mixture of a monster mash and a dragon. Like, I tried to make this very interesting, I guess you could even call it demonic dragon-like creature. I'm gonna call it a dragon because I gave it horns and spines and big teeth, and it has wings and claws. So I think it's a very interesting, cute, fluffy dragon. A little less reptilian and a little bit more rabbit-like in characteristics. So with the initial sketches, I knew I wanted it to focus mostly on the rabbit because with Easter, I think rabbit is the most common animal. Lamb is, I think, very reminiscent of Catholicism when it comes to like Jesus dying on the cross and rising 3 days later type of thing. He's seen as like the sacrificial lamb. Or 30, I don't know how many days I just said. Anyway, Catholic thing. Shows I haven't been at church in a while. But either way, I wanted to have lamb aspects because that brings in the Catholic side of Easter. And then the baby chick, I think, just is like the sign of rebirth and renewal, and yeah, that's why we have the eggs, I think, as well. It's kind of a symbol of rebirth and renewal, since Easter is kind of seen as that, as like a holiday of that. So I wanted to incorporate all of them together, but also add some fun dragon-like aspects. So for sure, like I said, the bunny was the main focus. So I thought, what if we gave the front two teeth that rabbits usually have? I know they're crazy sharp already, but I wanted to make them look a lot more dragon-like. So like the bottom two, I just curved out to give them more of a tusk look. And then the top two just are these spiny, really intimidating teeth. And then I did add a little bit of reptilianness to it to try to give it at least a bit of a dragon feel. So I gave it some, I guess, scaly plating up of its nose. And then obviously I had some spikes here and there. So with the rough sketch done and out of the way, it was time to figure out the finalized pose. And I wanted it to kind of have one of the traditional rabbit sitting poses. I thought that would be really cute, and it will show off the whole creature. Again, I want to do another full body and show off all the different aspects and characteristics of this guy. So for sure, this pose worked out really well for me. So now with the finalized pose out of the way, I went through and did a nice line art. I think I used a 01 micron pen for this whole thing. I always go back and forth between adding those thicker lines for depth. But for this one, I wanted him to look kind of like, what's the word for it? A delicate creature? Yeah, because like a rabbit is kind of like a small, delicate little thing. I know this is like a dragon rabbit, which makes it way more intense and probably a lot more stronger, but I still wanted to give him a light, delicate feel, so I didn't really add those thicker lines, and I honestly also did forget, but I'm kind of glad I did because I think the thicker lines would have added a little bit too much boldness to this guy. And then with this one, I actually struggled with the wings a little bit doing the line art. I kind of lost track of where my feathers were, and I flubbed a couple of them, and then that just kind of offset the whole thing. And I honestly don't like the wings too much. Please don't pay attention to them. I love the rest of this guy, so I didn't want to abandon him. And I just really liked his overall look. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna put up with the wings. They're not my favorite, but you know, it is what it is. I can't hit 100% on every drawing I do on this channel. And that's a nice lesson for you guys. If you're struggling and feel like your drawings aren't 110% every time you do them, look, I struggle with it all the time. It hits me all the time. Like, there's some drawings that just do not hit the mark. But I think this guy still turned out pretty cute overall. I don't like those wings. So now it's time to test a lot of colors. So my idea for this guy, I put all those spots and stripes because it reminded me of painting Easter eggs. I thought it'd be really fun if we had an Easter egg look to this guy, like have the base fur be in the whitish tones, just like the egg, and it matches with the idea of a white rabbit. And then from there, just have a lot of interesting and different patterns and shapes in lots of different colors. And I really like this idea. I thought it would look really good, but I honestly didn't know how to execute it. Like, I had it in my brain on what I kind of wanted to do and the general idea, but I didn't really figure it out until I started coloring. And even when I started coloring, I wasn't sure how much I liked it until a little ways into the process. I started off by doing some bigger chunks of the shading and kind of wanting to give him like a spotted rabbit look, like maybe 2 different color spots around its eyes. And then I started coloring in the spots that I already put aside for some color. Like, I had some stripes and some spots, and then I colored in the wings because I wasn't really liking how the stripes and spots were looking. So I'm like, all right, let's move on to a different part of the piece while I try to figure out how to fix my stripes and spots. And luckily that did help a bit, but I didn't really feel it until I finished coloring the rest of the stripes and spots. And then I figured out I really need to make this guy even more random in terms of coloring, because at least for me, when I was a kid, I went nuts with Easter egg coloring. I absolutely loved that part of the year, like being able to just put as many different colors and stripes and spots like all over the Easter eggs. I used to use those, I think they were like clear white crayons, or like, I think they were crayons. I feel they always came with the pack, and you could draw on them to isolate those areas from the colors, and it worked pretty well. Like, what I would usually do, I would dip, like, let's say the whole egg in yellow, and then I would use that crayon to isolate some different stripes, and then I would dip it again in like blue, so that I would have this like yellow green striped egg. And I had so many different colors and patterns. I don't even know if we still have pictures, but I bet you money I put a dragon on an egg. You know, I probably tried to do that as a kid. It might have not been super successful, but I thought it was the bomb. And I know I used to do a lot of different shapes and colors and everything. And man, I haven't decorated eggs in a long time. Maybe that'd be a fun video for next year's Easter. Like, try to draw a dragon on an egg. That's what I'll do. Next year Easter video, I'll try to draw one of these guys, because by my calculations, to get through 100 dragons, it's gonna take me probably, if I remember correctly, 1.5 to 2 years, depending on if I stay consistent with uploads. So, you know, we're gonna hit Easter again. It's gonna happen. So maybe next year's Easter dragon, we'll just do a drawing of a dragon on an egg. That would be really intense, but I think I can do it. And now we're getting close to the end of coloring this guy. I really enjoyed doing the banded tail as well. It kind of looks like the idea of each part was kind of dipped separately and made different. That one was really fun. And then just the stripes and random patterns, I feel just gives him such a playful look that really reminds me of like when I was a kid and just went nuts coloring eggs. For all I know, this poor rabbit dragon was picked up by a kid and just like drawn all over with like markers or like the egg paint stuff. The poor thing didn't stand a chance. But overall, this guy was really fun, super colorful, and I had a really enjoyable time drawing this guy. Like, he was totally random and cute and outside of what I usually do, so he was a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and look at your guys' steampunk entries from last week. You guys blew me away. Like, there was so many varieties and differences within your guys' steampunk dragons. Some of you guys had like really cool wings and intense like clockwork and cogs, and then a couple people actually incorporated like bones and other like organic aspects into it. Really cool work. But first of all, Obsidian Winter, I love your big dragon in the sky with the giant clouds and the little blimp in front of it. I absolutely love that one. It just is so cinematic, and I could just imagine this being in a really cool like animated film or something. And then Vivid Bizrak, I hope I pronounced your username right. This is super cute. It's just like this adorable little clockwork dragon. I could just imagine him hanging out in the pocket of a traveler and kind of being like a pocket watch, but now it's your pocket watch dragon. It's just such a cool and cute idea, and I love all the details you put into the gears. Really great work. And again, all of you guys did amazing. Like, I am blown away again by your steampunk dragons. Like, I feel I say that every week, that I'm blown away by your creativity, but it's always so great to see you guys take the prompt and reinterpret it. So if you guys would like to do the same for this week's Easter dragon, make sure to post it on Twitter or Instagram under the hashtag KM100dragons for your chance to be featured in next week's video. So thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go and hit that subscribe button. I have new videos every week. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter, a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week for some more videos. Bye, everybody.